Nvidia investors, though, not shaken by that news because right there on your screen, the stock's up near 4%. Joining me now is Doug Clinton of Deepwater Asset Management. The firm recently bought that stock, that being Nvidia. Welcome. So you finally decided to buy Nvidia. The big sell-off a couple weeks ago was too much to pass up?
It was too good to be true for us. I mean, Nvidia is a stock that they are the arms supplier of this AI arms race. And we've wanted to own it for a while, but for price. And we finally got that opportunity. The yen carry trade blew up. There were rumors about Blackwell delays, their new chip. And when the stock traded down into the mid-90s, you had a kind of forward PE, 25. We felt like that was the right time to enter.
This news today of AMD and this deal, if you're an Nvidia investor now that you're a new one, is it a snoozer to you, or is it meaningful in your mind?
I don't think it changes anything for the next 1 to 2 years. Let's put it that way. I mean, really what this is about is AMD trying to get more competitive in these training clusters, helping big customers, the hyperscalers, build out data centers and be more creative. It's something they weren't doing before. It's something NVIDIA is already very good at. So it's not, something that AMD is now doing, NVIDIA is not. I don't think it's a big threat.
So
NVIDIA's stock is consolidating following a 19% increase last week. The next buying opportunity is near its split-adjusted all-time high of 140.76. Thus, should I buy the stock now or is it too late? How NVIDIA is bringing AI to the medical field. On August 28, NVIDIA releases its second quarter earnings. Remarks from management regarding the delay. On August 28, NVIDIA releases its second quarter earnings. We'll be closely observing management's remarks regarding the delays in its next-generation Blackwell chip and its capacity to service demand. The recent movement of NVIDIA's stock has both positive and negative aspects. Investors may increase their chances of success and determine if NVIDIA stock is a good investment right now by examining a variety of technical indicators, chart readings, and tried-and-true trading principles. Meanwhile, risk management is now just as crucial as timing stock selections due to the recent market volatility. On August 13, however, a rally confirmation reduced stock investors' risk. Last Tuesday, despite reports that China-based Huawei Technologies is testing an advanced artificial intelligence chip similar to NVIDIA's H100, shares rose to retake the 21-day exponential moving average. Sanctions from the U.S. prevent NVIDIA from selling its cutting-edge data center technology to China. The article claims that more U.S. bans on machine components may provide challenges for Huawei's 910C chip. The fact that earnings influenced the stock in 2023 and 2024 is clear evidence of the importance of fundamental performance to the investor's business daily methodology. NVIDIA, an AI stock, surged a whopping 239% in 2023. The stock has gained so far this month and has increased by slightly more than 150% this year after losing ground in July. Only one of the 4 pillars of investing is fundamentals. The other 3 are market direction, risk management, and a stock's technical strength, which shows how the stock has performed in relation to other companies. Early in August, the stock fell on news that the leading manufacturer of AI chips would postpone its next-generation chip for at least 3 months because of a design issue. According to Bernstein analyst Stacy Rasgon, the 3-month delay won't significantly affect the market share of the industry leader in chips, according to reports from Reuters. Furthermore, the demand-side picture is still favorable as all of the major hyperscalers raise their capital expenditure estimates in an effort to strengthen their positions in cloud computing and data processing. Following news that the Department of Justice is looking into the company's acquisition of the artificial intelligence startup Run.ai, shares also dropped. Investigations are also being conducted into the company's practices of selling multiple AI chips to cloud providers. If you want to keep up with NVIDIA's latest updates and keep up with the stock market latest news, you can subscribe to our investing tutorial channel as we post daily updates about the biggest changes and catalysts in the market. So click the subscribe button if you don't want to miss the newest market updates. Now back to today's video.
Nvidia, the biggest driver of returns among the Magnificent Seven since the market rout just the other week. But shares are under pressure today, down about 0.6%, though Nvidia is still up over 40% from its August lows, adding over $500 billion to its market cap in just 3 weeks. Joining us to discuss the next big catalyst for the chip giant, we've got Dan Niles. He's the founder and portfolio manager at Niles Investment Management. Dan, it's great to have you on here. So obviously expectations for Nvidia are high heading into the next print, and this comes after their EPS growth was over 400% in the first quarter. Can they beat that again?
Yeah, I think for the quarter, everybody's expecting them to beat revenues and EPS. The real question really comes down to more of the guidance in terms of how it reacts in the near term. I think, though, if you take a step back and you think about it from a longer term perspective, if you think back to the internet build out, and you can start that at the end of '94 when Netscape Navigator showed up, you had Cisco really drive the infrastructure build out for the internet at the time. Cisco never had a down quarter sequentially in 6 years. And the stock was up over 4,000% from the end of '94 to its peak. And revenues were up 15.5 times. If you look at Nvidia, we're only 6 quarters, not 6 years, into the build out since we heard about this thing called ChatGPT and generative AI. And the revenues are up 4.5 times, not 15.5 times like it was for Cisco. And the stock is up 600%, not 4,000% like it was for Cisco from the end of '94 to its peak. So yeah, the stock may go down after they report because obviously we've heard about delays in Blackwell. Their 3 biggest customers, Microsoft, Amazon, and Google, all 3 of those stocks went down after they reported results. They all talked about spending a lot of money, maybe more than they needed to in the near term. So the quarter itself, it could be messy, but if you think about it from a long-term perspective, I think we still have several more years to go. I think the revenues will double over the course of the next several years, and I think the stock will as well.
The leader in AI processors, Meta Platforms, announced good news on its plans to increase expenditure on AI. A significant user of NVIDIA AI processors is Meta. By year's end, Meta intends to install 350,000 NVIDIA H100 graphic cards, according to reports. The results of NVIDIA's second quarter are anticipated on August 28. FactSet surveyed analysts, and they predicted earnings of 64 cents, or 138% more than the previous year, and sales of $28.6 billion, or a 112% increase. On May 22, NVIDIA's shares reached all-time highs as the company's fiscal first quarter earnings once again exceeded expectations. Revenue increased by 262% to $26 billion, and profits increased by 461% to $6.12 per share. The leader in AI has also partnered with Microsoft to enable the most recent AI software to run on NVIDIA's GPUs. Earlier will make the search better. The search engine behemoth also gave a sneak peek at an NVIDIA product that will alert consumers to scammers over the phone. Following the Google AI conference, NVIDIA shares surged beyond a handle-buy mark. Although NVIDIA's chips compete with Google's tensor processing units, NVIDIA commands a larger share of the data center AI chips market. On a scale from A+ to E, NVIDIA's stock has an accumulation/distribution rating of E. This is a reflection of the recent strong institutional selling. The graphics processing units from NVIDIA contribute to the speeding up of AI applications and data centers. The company took the lead in creating graphics processors, which improved computer gaming to a great extent, according to many. In addition to gaming, NVIDIA chips are used in the robotics, automotive, and healthcare sectors. With OpenAI's ChatGPT, generative AI made significant progress in March 2023. NVIDIA CEO Jensen Huang claims that the company's AI-capable supercomputer cleared the path for the iPhone moment in artificial intelligence. That enabled NVIDIA to improve its performance. In late 2022 and early 2023, it revealed 3 quarters of year-over-year sales declines and 4 quarters of falling profitability. However, in the last 2 quarters, the company's top and bottom lines both grew at historic rates. With a robust 98 relative strength rating, NVIDIA's stock continues to rise. The stock has a composite rating of 99 and an ideal EPS rating of 99. One of the Magnificent Seven stocks that topped the market in 2023, and for a large portion of this year, is Nvidia. Many of these titans of industry are Nvidia's customers and rely on their state-of-the-art technology. Another stock that a lot of analysts predict will do better than the market in 2024 is Nvidia. So what does this really mean for Nvidia's stock? Let's find out. But first, if you made it this far into the video, thank you. These videos take a lot of effort and time to make, so if you enjoyed them, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. This goes a long way in helping us grow. That said, back to the video.
We turn our attention to the semiconductor sector, looking at names like Nvidia set to report next week. AMD making the big acquisition to kick off the week and try and compete even better against Nvidia. Let's bring in our panel. Lucas Kay is with us, semiconductor analyst at Third Bridge, and Ryan Sherwood, Futurum's president at Signal 65. Thank you both for being with us. So Lucas, look, we had the big acquisition this week from AMD of ZT Systems. And that was a big deal because that will help them to sort of really try to catch up to Nvidia, but Nvidia is still growing too. Some of your thoughts?
And I think you put it great. I think it's a good attempt in trying to catch up. Obviously, as you mentioned, they are still quite behind the market leader, Nvidia. But we're seeing AMD make the necessary investments in both their AI software ecosystem, as well as now kind of taking a recognition that the industry is moving more towards a system-level approach. Therefore, targeting a company like ZT Systems, which some might say is a bit unexpected, but it's certainly a step in the right direction.
Yeah, understood. Ryan, how do you feel?
I think the acquisition that they announced for ZT is maybe less about competing directly with NVIDIA and more about helping them continue down their path of kind of this open ecosystem approach, but still trying to get into that verticalized market, right? What NVIDIA has done to perfection is own everything from the chip to the infrastructure to the deployment in many instances. AMD tends to be more on the side of working with partners and kind of close partnership relationships to get some of that done. It's less expensive, it's less risky on their part. But what ZT does for them, it allows them to go one step further than just deploying chips, and now they can offer kind of white box system options for a lot of their partners. And I think they're still adamant, and Lisa has said this during some of her interviews yesterday, that they don't want to step on partners' toes in the process.
On August 28, Nvidia's quarterly earnings announcement is eagerly awaited by investors. In a span of just 2 weeks, Nvidia's stock has increased by around 30% after falling below $100 per share. However, a Wall Street expert believes those improvements will continue. Melius research analyst Ben Reitzes stated in a new research report that was published on Monday that he believes there is still time for investors to purchase Nvidia stock, which he believes will rise to $160 per share. That suggests that shares of the cutting-edge semiconductor manufacturer could rise by an additional 23%. The amount of money spent by both big and small digital companies to increase the usage of artificial intelligence, AI, has skyrocketed. Thus far, Nvidia has reaped the greatest benefits. The management anticipates in its next earnings report to generate revenue of approximately $28 billion. That would be over twice as much as the $13.5 billion the business disclosed for the same period last year. Investors may be anticipating more given that the company has consistently exceeded its own sales projections in its most recent quarterly releases. The Melius research analyst believes there is enough market opportunity for Nvidia to generate skyrocketing free cash flow in the foreseeable future, regardless of whether it meets or exceeds projections. According to Reitz's research report, Nvidia could generate over $270 billion in free cash flow in the next 3 years. With this increase in cash flow, it ought to be able to give shareholders a sizable portion of that money back. It is unlikely that investors should anticipate a surge in shares following the earnings announcement, given the recent run-up in Nvidia's stock has most certainly factored in some positive news. Longer term, nevertheless, robust cash flow and net income should continue to make this a company that is worthwhile to acquire.